Was the earth inhabited before Adam? And please explain Lucifer's trail.
State that again.
Was the earth inhabited before Adam?
Was the earth inhabited before Adam?
Right.
That's quite a question, all right. And explain the trail of Lucifer. The trail of Lucifer is quite a trail also. The earth was inhabited before the days of Adam. There are several statements to prove that. For example, in Genesis 1:26 to 28, God said to Adam, multiply and replenish, refill the earth. Now, God evidently knew what the word replenish means. Admit, that's why he used it in this passage. The idea in the Hebrew as well as in the English here is to refill. Refill, not to fill for the first time, but to refill something that had been filled before. The word replenish is used 7 times in the King James Version, and every time without exception it means to refill. The next place it is found is in the 9th chapter of Genesis, verse 2. Immediately after the flood, God gave Noah exactly the same command that he gave to Adam in Genesis 1:26 to 28. God said to Noah, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Now we know the earth had been plenished before Noah's day, for the flood came to destroy all flesh, which had become corrupt at the time of Noah, and even before that time. And we know also from the same statement God gave to Adam that the earth had been plenished before Adam, or he could not have had the commandment to replenish it. We have a statement in Jeremiah 4:23 to 26 that the earth was totally desolate, without inhabitants, without birds, without fruitful places, and all the cities were broken down. Now the only thing we can do to settle it as to when Jeremiah's scripture referred to, just ask ourselves a few simple questions. Has there ever been a day from Adam's day to our day that the earth has ever been desolate as pictured by Jeremiah? He said, I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form, and the heavens had no light. The birds of the heavens were fled. There was no man. The fruitful place had become a wilderness. The cities broken down at the presence of the Lord and by his fierce anger. Has there ever been a day that that could be true of this earth? From Adam to 1952 that we're living in now. Has there ever been such a day? Never. Never has been a day since Adam that the earth has been totally desolate. All right, ask another question. Will the earth ever be desolate from 1952 on into eternity? No. The earth will not be desolate from our day into all eternity. That is very clear from many scriptures, which teach eternal generations of natural peoples. For we read in Genesis 8:22, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, summer and winter, cold and heat, and day and night shall not cease. And in the 9th chapter of Genesis, verse 12, God said to Noah, you see the rainbow? Said that's a token of a covenant between me and you and all flesh that is with you for perpetual generation, for eternal generation. So that proves, along with many other scriptures, that there never will be a time from our day into all eternity that the earth will be totally desolate. So we have to associate Jeremiah's picture of the earth along with Genesis 1:2 before the days of Adam. And it reads in Genesis 1:2 exactly the same as it reads in Jeremiah 4:23. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved on the face of the water. Literally in the Hebrew, in both Jeremiah and Genesis 1:2, it reads tohu vabohu, literally meaning desolate and empty. The earth became desolate and empty. All this goes to prove that the earth had cities on it before Jeremiah saw them become broken down. And the earth had birds and inhabitants and fruitful places before they were totally destroyed, according to this passage. Then in 2 Peter 3:5 and 8, read that. After the broadcast sometime you'll find the earth that then was, or the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. Isaiah 14:12 to 14 and other scriptures teach Lucifer's kingdom on the earth before the days of Adam. And Lucifer had a fall and invaded heaven, was cast out of heaven, and his kingdom destroyed. And we all have to agree that Lucifer was already a fallen creature when he came into Adam's Eden. He had already had his fall. He had already had rule over a kingdom, and that kingdom had been destroyed. So if that be the case, we have to associate Lucifer's rule with a time before the days of Adam, so we can definitely and scripturally teach that the earth was inhabited before the days of Adam.